Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'll be doing Act 1, Scene 5 of Hamlet by William Shakespeare. So what happens here is that Hamlet says that he will go no further and tells the ghost to speak. Remember what happens is that Hamlet goes after the ghost in Act 1, Scene 4, and this is how the scene ends. Now the ghost identifies himself as I am thy father's spirit, which is very important for us to know. And he says that he is condemned to burn in the flames of purgatory by day and walk the earth by night until the sins of his life are purged. Which is very important because this gives us an ideology that he was killed in a sinning state. He is forbidden to describe his tortures, but if he could, the description would horrify his son. That is what he says. The ghost emphasizes the unnatural nature of his death. This is very important. Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange and unnatural. He states that if Hamlet ever loved him, he must revenge his foul and most unnatural murder. So Hamlet demands to know the truth at once so he can immediately avenge his murder. The ghost is pleased with Hamlet's reaction, of course, and Hamlet agrees to it. So, the ghost says that all of Denmark believes his death was due to being stung by a serpent while sleeping in the orchard, which is very much a lie. The truth, however, is that he was murdered by, you guessed it, Claudius. The serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown. This is how he says. Very important, because now we have a mission. Hamlet just going after Claudius to, I would say, rectify or maybe avenge his father. The ghost condemns Claudius, calling him an incestuous other beast who used his wicked wit and gifts to seduce Gertrude. But the ghost saves his most damning words for Gertrude. He tells Hamlet that Gertrude is not a good and virtuous person, but only seems so. Seeming virtuous. He calls her a slave to her sexual desire. Gertrude is linked to sex. The ghost then recounts the full story of his death. He was taking his customary afternoon sleep in his orchard when Claudius poured poison in his ear, and in the porches of my ears did power the leprous distilment. He died instantly. Why ear? I don't know. With one stroke, Claudius stole his wife, his kingdom, and his life. By a brother's hand of life of crown of queen at once dispatched. These are all quotes that I'm saying. So, crucially, the king died without confessing his sins, and this is what I said earlier. He died in a sinning state. This is why he burns in purgatory and walks the earth by night. So the ghost begs Hamlet to avenge his death, as the royal throne of Denmark must not be tainted. He also asks Hamlet not to harm Gertrude, claiming that she will be punished in the afterlife and that her own conscience will torment her while she lives. The ghost then says that he must depart as dawn approaches, and he begs Hamlet not to forget him. He says, "Remember me." Now, Hamlet vows that he will make avenging his father's death his only purpose. He will wipe all the other thoughts from his mind. This also means forgetting Ophelia, which is very much negative for her, and shows how unfair he is towards women in general, while he is only pissed at Gertrude, his own mother. The prince then condemns Claudius and Gertrude, describing his mother as a pernicious or sinful, and Claudius as a smiling damned villain. Now this is a very important key moment. Now the revelation that Claudius murdered the king is the dramatic turning point in the play. No longer does Hamlet appear as a resentful stepson brooding immaturely on his mother's new remarriage. He now has a reason for his hatred and purpose in his life, to kill Claudius and avenge his father's death. His declaration that he will immediately take revenge is, however, striking, as the theme of his prevarication in doing so will run throughout the rest of the play. This scene also marks the beginning of Hamlet's madness. By the way, he's trying to act mad to let everyone maybe, think that he is vulnerable and weak while he can take over everything, especially Claudius. What else happens is that Horatio and Marcellus now catch up with Hamlet and are eager to know about his encounter with the ghost. And Hamlet is in a strange mood, and he speaks to his friends in a way that is giddy, excited, and confused, causing Horatio to remark his weird behavior. Now Hamlet refuses to tell them what the ghost says, but he also insists that they swear on his sword not to reveal what they have seen this night. The ghost also joins somewhere, we don't see it, and says "swear" from beneath the ground. Hamlet seems amused at the ghost's behavior, and he refers to it as the old mole. Hamlet tells his friends that he may behave in a strange manner in the upcoming days, maybe acting mad for people to, as I said, think that he's vulnerable. He said that he's going to put an antique disposition, this is a quote, and his friends must not let on that this antique disposition is only an act. One of the most important questions asked by a lot of people, students especially, is that whether this acting is actually acting, or did Hamlet really lose his mind as he was acting? Because you know the saying, once you try to be something for so long, even if you're faking it, you become that thing. I don't know how the saying goes, but like, if you pretend to be someone, you become that someone. So when the ghost tells Hamlet that Claudius killed him, consider this. Hamlet reacts by saying, "Oh, my prophetic soul." Has Hamlet always suspected that Claudius was somehow involved in his father's death, or is it that he thought Claudius was simply a bad person? A suspicion that has now been confirmed? Think about that. This is food for thought. Anyway, guys, this is all what happens in this very important scene. If you have any questions, message them to me, email me, or just drop them down below. Thank you very much and have a good day.